What I've come to know through studying Christ's life and his ministry, his mission, not taking it for granted through religion, but actually taking myself out of the box and studying like a student. What I have come to know is that Jesus' life and mission is much more relatable to yours than the church would have you think. You see, Jesus went into the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. I think everyone, a Christian and a non-Christian, is aware of such a story. But what was the actual purpose of his time in seclusion? It says that the Spirit led him to the desert. And there he was tempted by the tempter of tempters, the accuser of accusers. And I always took that as the red-horned man with the tail. But in actual studying of the text and of his life, remember, God made flesh, which is all of us, I realized that, hey, Christ was led into the desert by himself. And furthermore, he wasn't facing any red-horned man with a tail. He was facing his inner demons, his lower self. That was his time of self-examination, which we all must go through. It never goes away. What you resist will persist. Yet we don't like to think about self-examination the way Jesus thought about it, because somehow his story is there to be honored and worshipped, and that's it. But once you start applying Christ's life to your life, you'll realize that you can overcome your lower self with your higher self, no matter how long it takes. Life will throw at you challenges, and there will be times where you have nothing but self-examination. So my question for myself and for all is, where is your desert? What is it that you need to overcome? You think Jesus went into the desert for fun? Because he liked to fast? No. He went in there so that he can be a pattern for men, as he said time and time again. You cannot speak what you have been through. Sorry, you cannot speak what you have not been through. We are all supposed to look at Christ as the bar that we can reach. It's not just a tale, it's reality. We are all here. We are all meant to expand. And we can all get to that Christendom if we really apply ourselves and self-examine. Because only through self-examination will you know where your shortcomings are and where your upcomings are. And you move forward thus. So I tell you, when the devil, quote unquote, was tempting Jesus with the world, with turning things into food, stones, this was a man simply talking within himself, very well knowing that he could give in to such temptations. And he had to self-examine himself and make sure he was fit for the fight. You have a lot of leaders today. You have a lot of people who make people follow. The blind leading the blind. Because somehow life is supposed to be easy. I will tell you something though. My goal is to have abundant life, not to live life abundantly per se. Christ was showing us something very important. You have to remember the Bible is all symbols and metaphors. You have to read between the lines as well as the lines. Yes, he did go into the desert. Yes, he spent over a month there. But what was he doing? What was the purpose? The man was checking himself. He was making sure he was fit for the fight. Fit for people to throw away their lives and to follow him. That's what he was doing. If I am correct, he did that soon after being baptized by John the Baptist, the one that pointed him out. Can you imagine how daunting that must have been? Someone of such influence like John the Baptist at the time pointing you out, actually saying, I am not the one, but he is. Everyone turn and look at you. That must have been a very scary, daunting experience for Jesus. He was born through Mary's womb, remember? So he was a babe. He was a boy. He was an adolescent. He was a man. And now he knows it's time. No more games. No more procrastination. No more delays. It's make or break time. So what do? You self-examine. You make sure you can get above the things that kills us, man. From adultery to lust. Lust isn't just about sex. Lust is a love of the fleeting things. Whatever that is for you. He had to overcome himself. He had to make sure he is the full embodiment of God, which is all our potential. So can you be a Christ? Can you reach Zen? It's all down to you. And until then, you are in hell. Because this is hell. Separation from God is hell. But you can become one. No time is running out. But the longer you're separated from God, the longer you have pain. So why not get to Zen as soon as possible?